My name is Olivia Taylor Dudley. Well, I wanted to become an actor when I was 5. I had seen The Exorcist, which is not what a 5-year-old should be watching, but I snuck into my godfather's, he was watching it in the living room with my dad, and I snuck in and I started watching it from behind the couch, and I was so affected by what Linda Blair was going through. I was seeing this young girl who wasn't too much older than me going through it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. That looks like fun, believe it or not. And so from that moment on, I just got obsessed with movies and with acting, and I was too scared to tell anybody I wanted to be an actor till I was about 13, and I didn't go to school for acting. I was homeschooled. I didn't do plays. I did no theater in high school. I had no experience. And then when I was 17, I just was like, I'm dropping out of high school and I'm moving to LA, and I just did. And from that moment on, I've just been going. So I don't know. Affecting people sounds like fun. I think some of my worst auditions ended up being the ones I booked. I know on The Magicians, I had what I thought was one of my worst auditions. I really wanted to work with this director. I really respected him, Mike Cahill, and the producers. And I went in and I read, and it just wasn't right, and I left, and I actually cried, which I hadn't done in years. They called me like 10 minutes later, and they're like, they want you to come in for a different character, and they love you. And I went in and I read, and then I booked it. So you never know. It's like worst audition versus my best audition. I definitely never booked my best auditions. The show I've been working on, Magicians, is wonderful. It's such a fun show to make. We did 2 seasons so far, and it's kind of a blessing to be on that show. It's a bunch of great actors. We all love each other. It's a big family, and I get to do magic, which I'm such a magic nerd. So for me, it's a great job, and they write really wonderful stuff, and I get to play a really awesome character who's powerful and a really strong female, and they give me the room to do what I want with her and create. I completely created who I wanted this person to be, and she's ever growing, and yeah, it's really fun. I don't know what my first role was. I think when I was younger, I was just taking anything I could get, and it was probably like a silly commercial a friend was shooting, because I did a lot of things like that in student films. I was just doing anything I could possibly to feel like I was doing the work, because I didn't believe I could do it. I could be an actor when I first moved here, until I started getting jobs, even if they were tiny and nobody ever saw them. That gave me the confidence. I've never been an actor who does a lot of research for a role to like create a different person other than myself. I'll do research to then put it inside who I am, and this studio has given me the tools, and Tony's taught me how to just be myself within all these different characters. And I think that just brings an authenticity that other ways of working don't necessarily bring, and it's something I can always fall back on the show I work on right now. It moves really fast. You know, TV just keeps going and going and going, and the scripts are always coming, and if I didn't have something to rest on the way we work here, I don't know if I could do it. It's your head would spin out of control. But you know, being real and coming from my own brain and heart while I'm acting is what I think I learned from Tony. I know that every time I was fighting with Tony at the end of class, and I was convinced that I was right and he was wrong, those end up being the biggest breakthroughs, I think, in my life. Tony sees all, so it's so funny. Even in relationships and how the years have passed, I still hear his voice ringing in my head when I do something inauthentic or I know I'm not being true to who I am. It's amazing to think about where I started and where I am now. It's all because of Tony, but breakthrough moment? No, whenever he's yelling and screaming at me, it's probably a pretty big moment. Listening is everything in this craft. It's definitely one of the biggest things I learned from Tony. You know, the way we work here, not memorizing or being off book when we first work with the material is so important, and I still work that way at work. Every week when I get the script, I read it out loud with other people before I've memorized it, and that way I'm not set in a specific way. And then, you know, then I memorize it, and then we go and we're in the room doing the scene, and it's just 2 people talking to each other, and if I don't listen to that other person in whatever way they woke up that day, however they were feeling that day when they came to work, is gonna affect how they do the scene. So if I'm not listening, I won't see the changes. So it might be different than our rehearsal. So as long as we're listening to each other, we're just 2 human beings talking and connecting, we're gonna get somewhere, regardless if it's what the director wants, but at least it's 2 human beings talking. So I love movies. I'm a huge movie fan, and I grew up movies are what inspired me to want to do this, obviously, and that's where I find inspiration. So whenever I want to give up, you have to be inspired. That's the only way to get back on the train. So I go to the movies, or I binge watch as many movies as I possibly can, and then I get re-inspired by other people's great work. And I also listen to a lot of interviews. I love listening to actors talk. I love actors so much, and so I'm obsessively listening to interviews all day long on YouTube, podcasts, wherever I can find it, reading them in magazines. That inspires me, you know, relating to everybody else's struggle kind of helps you through your own. Every time I see a movie and I see somebody's performance, I want, you know, that's amazing and engaging, you know, you want to do that, but they've already done it. So I'm just hoping there's a role out there that is right for me and lets me bring to the world what I want to bring and the emotions that I'm interested in giving. But, you know, I mean, if I could have like Jake Gyllenhaal's career as a female, that would be pretty dope. AMAW is, I mean, it is the best. It's the best place. I think some of my fondest memories in my life have taken place in this studio. It's so funny, I haven't been in class here for a while because I've been working, and the second I step back in here, it's like coming home, and it's such a safe, wonderful place. And no amount of therapy gave me what this place has given me, and I don't think I could do or work in this business without it. I could probably get a job, but I don't think I could sustain and feel good about myself in the work, no matter what I'm doing, if it weren't for the work that Tony taught me here.
Hi, I'm Shailene Woodley.
Hi, I'm Ruby Rose.
Hey, I'm Sean Brown.
Hi, I'm Brianne Howie.
Hey, how's it going? Hey.
You always learn from your worst auditioning story.